before we actually started talking, me and Teef was saying, because I tapped in a little bit late, right?
Right.
And I sent y'all the link to the list of songs for songs because I said I wasn't really paying attention to the order like an actual battle. I was just there as a fan listening and enjoying the songs.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, like I said, before we was recording, Teef and I was talking, and we was like, we tapped in a little bit late, but we got enough. We saw enough of everything. Like I think I tapped in right before he played. The Isley Brothers did. I think it was. Wait, let me look at the list. I think it was before Groove with You. No, At Your Best. That's when I tapped in right there. You know what I'm saying? So
you
I was still early. So because I know
Steve
Steve was talking in between.
Yeah.
In between or whatever. And
this is a long joint.
But listen,
the first two songs for each person.
Yeah.
At Your Best came in. At Your Best would have been 1, 2, 3. First song of the fourth round.
Fourth, yeah.
Yeah. So you didn't. I mean, you didn't miss nothing crazy. You missed Let's Groove. That's the Way of the World. Love the One You're With. This Whole Heart of Mine.
Yeah.
That was more older. They got into the meat of it. Actually, I thought the first half, I thought Earth, Wind, and Fire was dusting them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna tell you what the Isley Brothers played. I'm gonna tell you what Earth, Wind, and Fire first round was. That's the Way of the World.
Right.
Let's Groove. Keep your head to the sky. Reasons. Gotta Get You Into My Life. Love's Holiday. Be Ever Wonderful.
Yeah, they put At Your Best against Reasons.
Yeah, At Your Best. As the great At Your Best, that's not winning against. I don't think it's not much that could win against Reasons.
Nah.
Maybe
Phil go crazy on that.
Yeah.
Make Me Say It Again. Summer Breeze, something like that. You got to come, and that's the thing. At Your Best is a heavy hitting song, but Reasons is just elite level, like everything you want to put into music, like elite level songwriting, elite level production, elite level instrument playing, whatever you want to do on that. That's what made me bug out. Like when you listen to Free, it sounds exactly like an Earth, Wind, and Fire record once you heard that.
Right.
It sounds just like Earth, Wind, and Fire.
I knew Maurice White wrote it because, you know, like I really follow this shit. So it's just like, but it was further. I was reminded when I think I saw Denise Williams Unsung, and I was like, oh, that's right.
Are we recording?
Yeah, we recorded.
Yeah,
we getting right into it.
Oh, okay. Boom.
Okay, like this is what like it's no leading. Like we getting right to the meat of this shit. Like I feel that was like. I think they played Free up against For the Love of You. And I was talking about Teef. I had just posted on Facebook, like, For the Love of You is one of the greatest songs ever created in life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And, but I really, really love Free. Like, Free, like.
It makes you feel good when you hear it, right?
At certain records, you feel the soul in that record instantly. That's what I feel, the soul in that record.
Yeah, it don't beat For the Love of You for me though.
I get it, but that's like I didn't realize if it was a battle we was paying attention to. That's the song. Those are the two songs that went up against each other.
Yeah,
that's difficult for me, and I love For the Love of You. Really for the lyrics. I mean, the groove is crazy, but it's just. I mean,
that's the one thing that was highlighted in this verses was the supreme level of songwriting, and the lyrics that like, if you had that in your game when you was talking to somebody, it'd be unfair out here if you were saying some of that stuff to some people out here. You know what I'm saying?
And looking the way Ron looked.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, he was killing it. It was bugged out because in the beginning, I don't know if y'all came on late in the comments because people had not seen him in years.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So people saw him with his white beard, didn't know it was him. There was a few people that was like, "Yo, where's Ron at?" I knew they wasn't gonna have that without
Ron. No way.
So if it ain't Ernie, the other dude must be Ron.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The guy without the guitar is Ron. You know what I'm saying? Because Earth, Wind, and Fire had all they heavy hitters there. The only person that wasn't there was the great Maurice White because he passed away. You know what I'm saying? Right. Philip Bailey, you know what I'm saying? Verdine.
You know what I'm saying? Maurice brother, that's his brother.
Yeah, that's who they supposed to have.
And another original member were Earth, Wind, and Fire. Like, yeah. So
that was a great versus.
And Verdine hair stay laid. Son.
Had mad chicks jealous.
Fresh set.
Yep.
Yo, and that's been forever. It's been
Yeah,
forever.
you've never seen Verdine stuff look crazy.
It's been forever.
Yeah, you know you rap that thing at night. Come on, man.
He ain't got to do it during the show. Okay?
Right. I'm surprised he wasn't out there with the bass.
I think
Ernie had a good
He should have been.
Swear,
He should have been.
I don't think they told son.
Yeah, he probably upset
What?
about that. He
We
probably
have
upset
never
about
seen
that.
Verdine without his guitar. You see Ernie out there going all
Yeah, I was like,
going
crazy,
crazy.
rock star, but
going
you know,
crazy,
Verdine was
showing
like,
off behind the back with the teeth and all that. Verdine like,
Dust you, boy.
What'd you say?
Like I'll
Verdine
dust
probably
you,
like,
boy.
And you know he was thinking that too.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But yo, he killed that. That Summer Breeze live was ridiculous.
Man, you know,
Just some of you forget some of the joints, like
yeah, you forget exactly. You forget because like
Sun Goddess work
Yeah.
to do.
and there's stuff that they didn't play that I would have loved to hear, but I knew they wouldn't play because they weren't hits or big songs like that were album cuts, like deep album cuts, especially Earth, Wind and Fire. But
Can't Hide Love is another monster for her.
oh,
Jesus.
you know
Can't
what?
Hide Love.
Their vocal arrangements is what set them apart from everybody. The vocal arrangements of their songs were insane.
And you know what I liked about this? Like both groups, they came from the era where our musical heroes were unapologetically black.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was no, we gonna hit you with the subtle. It was none of that. It was like, this is what it is, and we proud that it's like that. You know what I'm saying? Make you feel a little different. Like every time I listen to soul music or listen to James Brown or listen to that, like when I hear "Doing It to Death" by James Brown, I feel 2 shades darker. You know what I'm saying? I feel like my hair done grew out to the floor. I'm fists up. It just sound like a song that you like your parents would listen to and your grandparents would listen to. Right. That's why I always say that we got the greatest. Our era is the greatest era of music because we can appreciate our grandparents' music, and we can appreciate our grandchildren's music.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know if there's another.
Right. That's true.
You know, generation that is able to have that range. We got 60, 70-year range on one end going back. You know what I'm saying? And then we can get 20, 30 years range on the other end. You know what I'm saying? Going forward. Right. You know, I always think we're the best.
I was really just pleased to see this go down wonderfully for our legends.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
It was beautiful.
Like I was no
hopeful. Sound issues. I was on hopeful. Time. Yeah.
I was hopeful. And Steve Harvey was the perfect person to host.
Perfect.
I know. And people
I can't imagine it without him doing it.
Exactly. People were talking about, he talked like yo, he is invested, like, cause he's been clearly he's an Earth, Wind and Fire dude first.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, but he's invested in this music. You know what I'm saying? He's from that era. So there was nobody better than him to host that.
I saw the dog complaining about Steve talking too much. I said, son, if the Tribe Called Quest and De La Soul had a versus and you hosted, you would be the same way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You'd be the same way. So it's like,
my question is,
can't get mad at that.
Who else would host it?
Cedric Entertainer. It had to be somebody of that ilk. I couldn't think of nobody.
Right. But this is the only one that's had a host though. Right?
Yeah. Wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess this isn't a regular thing.
No, yeah, I guess you're right. I guess
Steve said that Switch called him, was like, yo. After Steve got on the radio, it was like, I'm gonna come down.
On Easter too. Right. There might not have been a better branded versus than this one.
Yeah.
Right.
Steve Harvey, Earth, Wind and Fire, Isley Brothers on Easter.
And D Nice.
The only thing that would have been different might have been if it was on Mother's Day. That's the only thing I could have thought might have.
I think this should have been on Mother's Day.
It should have been. It should have been.
Yeah.
It would have made more sense. But I think numbers wise, I was on my phone, so I was on Instagram watching it the whole time. So I mean, it looked
350, right?
It was like I saw 4 and change, almost 5. You know,
they got to fix this Thriller app, man.
You watch it on the
TV.
I was trying to get it on my TV. Like I want to be on the phone.
So you better off just broadcasting it from YouTube on your phone to the TV. You know what I'm saying? Because Triller been acting up. You know what I'm saying? They definitely got to fix that. They gave Swizz and Tim all that money. Money left over for the infrastructure.
Apple, you want to what? No.
Man, this.
But at the end of the day, It was. I don't have not a bad word to say about that joint. That
and
was
it was like almost 4 hours long, right?
Yeah, and I stayed and I watched every bit of it. I watched every bit of it.
I missed like part of the beginning because we were watching that King Kong joint.
Okay.
Watch it.
Yeah.
So we watched that. Watched the whole movie. And this thing still wasn't like halfway done.
Right. Yeah.
Like, you know what it was? At first D Nice was just playing like the first 16 bars or the first, 8 bars of the song and then switching off. Right. So then you saw mad people in the comments like, nah, y'all gotta let these songs you gotta let breathe. You can't.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
You can't give your 8 bars back.
Yeah,
so then they started playing, if not the whole song, at least to the bridge.
Right.
Because the bridge on those songs is legendary.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can't let that go.
Exactly.
So I think that's what it would have ended about 2.5 hours. But the fact that they were playing the songs, and then the second half, Steve didn't even talk that much.
No.
Y'all watched the second half.
Yeah. When he changed from the purple suit,
exactly.
all purple.
That purple that's who was dope though.
That was dope. Like, listen, it fit the aesthetic. It fit the aesthetic. Like, I wasn't mad at none of this. I wasn't mad at
everybody was chilling.
Everybody.
Isley was chilling.
Everybody was good.
D Nice had the pink on. He was chilling. Like, it was just a great day for the culture. I hate using that word.
Everything was like, They talked a little something. It was time they song to play. All right, they got up and performed. Yeah. They sat back down. They performed. Like,
everybody got up with no problem.
Yeah. And I didn't realize it was an audience.
Yeah. It was out here in LA at the Wiltern on Wilshire. Yeah, I didn't know that either. So people was talking about, I saw it later, and I saw people, during the joint, and I saw people saying, "Well, I know they tired." I'm like, "Yo, it's 8 o'clock here. Y'all might be tired."
Right.
That's a regular concert.
Yeah.
I'm about to say, these dudes been performing for 60 years. You think 4 hours on the couch is gonna bother them?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And choreographed routines, all that.
I saw a lot of people we talked about on chat. A lot of people learned lessons that night. You know what I mean? Talking about. I saw even Tony Baker. He was like, I think it was him. I thought he said, I got work to do. He thought it was a Vanessa Williams song. He thought it was original from Vanessa Williams.
Remember we was talking, I was like, people don't even know that was, not only was it the Isley Brothers, but the Average White Man. Right. I mean, average white man.
Yeah.
average white man did that after the Isley Brothers. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it was a lot of people who listened to hip hop or other music that heard samples.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true too.
That they had no idea that they, there was a couple of new joints that I heard. I was like, oh, word? I didn't know they got that from this. You know what I'm saying? So it was good to have that background that we have to be able to recognize that.
You know what I want to say? I'm not even going when they played the song. I just hope when I chimed in, they hadn't played it already, like between the sheets. So as great as that song is, and most people, especially younger than us, know it from being Biggie's Big Papa, right?
Yeah.
So as great as that song is, when they switch up at the end, when you go like, "Let's make love," and it's so fire. That shit is so fire, man.
Yeah.
Like, man.
Those were the days where they used to put out instrumental a lot too. You know what I'm saying?
And they let the music breathe.
Yeah.
5-6 minute songs.
5-6 minute
I
songs.
was listening to Luther the other day. Which one? Never Too Much. And it was a whole minute had passed before he even started singing. It was all music. It was like a minute and change in before he started singing. I was like,
what's the name of? That's how Superstar is too, right?
Oh,
yeah, got the crescendo.
Yeah.
That might be 2 minutes. It might be 2 minutes.
Music rocks for a minute before he even starts. You know what I'm saying?
But it changes with the time. Everybody's impatient. Everybody so they don't want to wait. So, but when it happens, you appreciate that, man. Like, let the music.
Hip hop producers used to do that. Hip hop producers used to not only switch the beat up, but let the song breathe at the end.
At the end.
Pete Rock. That's why one of my favorites. Pete Rock famous for letting the beat rock a little bit after the final verse. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's certain songs I like better just because they let the beat rock at the end.
Yes.
It makes all the difference in the world. Like, I don't want to hear no ad libs. I don't just finish and then let the beat rock. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's certain songs that do that is perfect. Like, even Jasmine Sullivan's song with Anderson .Paak on her album.
Mm-hmm.
At the end, they let the beat
rock. They let that rock.
They let the beat rock until it fade out. I'm like,
yeah.
It makes me like the song that much better. You know what
really
I mean?
I wonder why they don't do that more. Like, I would think the producer would actually like suggest that. Like, let them breathe for like a little 35.
They don't got no say.
Times have changed to 2-3 minute songs now, so that ain't happening no more.
Right. I mean, it happens. It can happen for a niche
right
artist. And you're going to be a certain mark. You're going to be in a certain market. You know what I mean?
And the right artist too, because if Kanye put out an album of 5-6 minute songs, best believe.
Well, I mean, some people with influence, of course. Yeah. Of course. But I mean,
but the next one up. What's the next verses up?
Meth and Red.
Oh, Meth and
on
Red.
420.
On 420, and then SWVMA, and against Escape.
SWV and Escape.
And Escape, yes.
They don't got 20.
They're gonna work it out one way or another. Because Candy wrote a bunch of hits.
It's a struggle 20. Definitely for SWV.
Hey, let me tell you something.
Right.
It's not.
I don't really like they hits.
Getting 20 hits for anybody ain't easy. If you got 20 hits, son, you're one of the greatest singers. You're one of the greatest artists of all time. They got 20 bangers.
Even artists we really like don't have 20 bona fide hits, and hits is subjective.
Yes.
I'm not talking about Billboard hits. I'm talking about
like impact,
like
people know, like, oh,
that's very subjective.
Yeah, that's very subjective. Like, I don't know.
I'll give you a perfect example. There's some people that hate Pop That.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Can't deny Pop That one.
Pop That Drake and French?
Yeah. Can't deny that was a hit, though.
Who hates that? Who?
I did. Point
him out. You? This guy?
I can't stand that.
He don't
serious?
Count. He don't keep.
Let me tell you something. That's one of the few songs.
Did you hear Drake's verse on that shit?
No. Let me finish talking. I'm about to give your man props. I was like, yo, that's one of the songs that that I actually liked that Orbs had out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought he floated on that. I thought it should have been his song. That's how good he was on it, and how much better he was off of everybody else that rhymed on it. That's my personal feeling on that. But I thought the song itself was vegetable lasagna. I didn't think it was. If you hear Pop That right now, you're gonna be like, oh, you're not gonna do that. That's not. I'm
gonna let that thing ride.
It'll rock in the party. That shit will rock in the fucking party. That's a party rocker. Come on, it's French, Wayne, Drake, and Ross.
A Luke sample.
And a Luke sample. Son, I understand why you don't like. See, this is the thing why I get it. There are a bunch of songs that are hits that I don't like, but I understand why they're hits.
I give you that,
and I appreciate it. I get it. I mean, I like it, but I get it why it's hot. You know what I mean?
When I was
so that's like that for you, right?
That was my exactly.
You understand why it's hot, but you understand why.
I definitely understand. First of all, who on it? Like you said, the Luke sample is a winner all the time.
Right.
And I'm not saying nobody else's versions was whack. You know what I'm saying? They was cool. You could have left French off that. I don't think
it was his song. It was his song.
That's how outclassed he was lyrically.
Well, I mean, with his company, of course, he's going to be fourth, no matter what.
There's a lot of songs I know that are, that have been hits that I didn't like.
Right.
We talked about it on here a couple of times. I hated Touch Me, Tease Me. I only liked Mary's part on that. I hated Case's part on that. I actually liked Case. I just didn't like him on that for some reason. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, wow. I guess the way he talked, it sounded like he sounded like, what's the dude from Empire? The light-skinned
nigga. Jamal?
Terrence.
Juicy Smollett?
Terrence Howard?
No, not Juicy.
Terrence Howard. You talking about Terrence Howard?
Oh,
okay.
Case,
no, his son.
Case sing like Terrence Howard talk. He sound like he's singing into a fan or some shit. It just got on my nerves listening to this nigga. So it's like I just wasn't a fan of Case. Shout out to Case.
Hilarious.
I wasn't a fan of Case at all.
That's hilarious.
That song. Let me take it back. That particular song.
I wasn't a big Case fan though, but I mean, I understood the songs in parties.
Yeah. I mean, he wasn't
importance
was cool.
is a wild word. It was a hit. It used a very popular sample. You know what I'm saying? Can't lose with that.
Yeah.
Mary was on fire at that time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't.
I mean, but he's had other great songs.
That's what I'm saying. I like Case.
Yeah.
I just didn't like him on that particular song.
Joe was way better.
Yeah, the joint with Beyonce in the video, Happily Ever After, that was a great song.
That was a good song.
That was a great song. And he was a dude that could say, "Yo, Beyonce was in my video as the video chick. Beyonce was my video chick."
Nas can say the same thing. Yeah, the whole crew. And the whole crew in that.
But yeah, I mean, but I understand. Case was never like we won't regard him in the stratosphere of who not even Joe. Like he's not as great as Joe to me.
No.
You know what I mean? He's not as great as Maxwell or
Maxwell. Come on, man.
I know. I'm just listen.
I'm Maxwell.
I'm trying. So give me context then. You know what I mean?
Case is compared
Donnell
to
Jones.
Okay. No. I wouldn't even do Donnell like that.
No, but that's the era though. That's
I would compare him to Rel.
Nobody know Rel.
Nobody know Rel. Nobody know Rel.
We're the only ones that know Rel.
Nobody know Rel. Listen, nobody know Rel like that.
I would rather hear Love for Free over any record that Case ever put out. That's just me. And I'm dead ass about that.
I know you are.
I'd rather hear Love for Free than any song that Case ever recorded, including Touch Me, Tease Me.
Okay. Listen, Rel has some great songs that people never heard. He's had some great songs, man. It's such that pisses me off. Shit like that pisses me off. Yeah. Good music we'll never hear.
Just listen to the people that we name, and it's like the Isley Brothers' first hit was like in 1959.
Right. Son.
It's like my mom's and them was in high school.
Yo, and this brother is alive and well, about to be 80, has a beautiful wife and a child.
36 years his senior.
Exactly. Yeah, so it's like
and fine too.
Like yeah. So good for him.
I thought Steve was playing when he kept saying 28 platinum albums.
That sounds ridiculous, yo.
It does sound ridiculous, right?
That sounds ridiculous. Like, how you got 28 platinum joints, right? 28 platinum joints?
Wait, how you got 28 albums?
How you got 28 albums? To be that prolific.
Son, that's what I'm talking about. And that's why we respect it the way we do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, what did they do, 25 joints?
25. They did 25 joints, something like that. Yep.
Out of 28 albums.
Mm-hmm. And you know the wild thing is like a couple of them songs. It's like multiple songs off of albums that was on it.
Right, but here's the thing.
Like John said earlier, they got stuff they didn't even put on it.
Yeah, and there are probably songs they did that were in our eyes that may not even crack the top 5 of the charts at that time. It's impact. Yeah. Like
I would like to see another.
Like what you call it? BMF by Ross. Mm-hmm. Like that song was never number 1, but the impact of that record speaks volume. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sure I'm sure Isley's and Earth, Wind & Fire had songs like that weren't high charters, but through our community resonated ridiculously. Like the only other group that could have went up against them was probably Frankie Beverly and Maze.
Say it one more time.
The only other group I think could have went up with them in that vein is Frankie Beverly and Maze. Or excuse me, Maze featuring Frankie Beverly.
Went up against who?
Earth, Wind & Fire or Isley Brothers. No,
I don't think.
See, until they start coming off, until they start playing them. I don't
think Frankie Baby and Maze. You know who I think might have been able to give them a run? The Commodores. I think the Commodores would have been able to give everybody a run that was involved.
Okay.
You know, I actually think them. I think Earth, Wind & Fire, Isley Brothers, Commodores on like a different level, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not going to put the Whispers in there in it. You know what I'm saying? Right. Or the Four Tops. I actually put them on a different level from Earth, Wind & Fire.
The funny thing is, when you talk about the Four Tops or like the Temptations, we think of them totally different than Isley's and Earth, Wind & Fire, but the Isleys came out
around that time.
Like the Temptations and them old dudes.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And the Isleys are them old dudes. You know what I'm saying?
It don't seem like it.
But it don't seem like it because
it's been 2 alliterations of the Isley Brothers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You had
Isley, Jasper Isley.
Yeah, exactly. You had the Isleys that was, with Ron and them. Then it was a whole nother group. Right. You know what I'm saying? Did they do Caravan of Love? That was a whole nother.
That was Isley, Jasper Isley. That was Caravan of Love. Yeah, that was a whole nother.
That's how long they've been out. You know what I mean?
Right.
But for some reason we put them in the same class. But Earth, Wind and Fire would probably be more in a Commodore's, SOS Band, OJ's lane.
What about Gap Band?
Gap Band too. You know what I'm saying? Okay. You know what?
Yeah.
Gap Band and SOS Band would be a good one.
Oh fuck yeah! Oh,
that'd be a good
one. Hell yeah!
That'd be a good one.
Hell yeah!
And you know what's crazy? I think everybody would jump to say the Gap Band would win first because they more quote unquote known, not knowing the SOS Band got the catalog is mean.
Mean, son. Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, son. That's.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yes, sir.
Yo, on this Between the Sheets album, they got.
What year was that?
83.
83.
Okay. 83.
Yeah, it's like 5.
And it's 5 instrumentals.
Platinum hits on there.
Wait.
It's 5 instrumentals on here.
Love it. I love that.
It's 10 songs and then 5 instrumentals.
Of those songs.
Choosy Lover, Touch Me, I Need Your Body, Between the Sheets, Let's Make Love Tonight.
So it's the vocal performance and then the instrumentals. I love them for that.
Half the people watching that Verzuz was conceived to that.
They knew what they were doing, son. Yeah. They knew what they were doing.
Play the whole album and then you blow her back out at the end when we just got
the music.
But it's just a music playing. You ain't got to pay no attention.
Exactly. Y'all can talk and drink while we singing and stuff.
That's crazy.
Yo.
Damn,
Marvin Gaye was out at this time. Like, what this is, yo.
Listen,
they lapping people.
Yo, perspective is crazy. If you think that, like, when I think about certain songs that were hits, I always like to go back to see if I can find out where they at, where that song was at in the charts, and what during other songs were out during that time. What were their competition? So
remember the back of the Jet magazine used to tell us that all the time.
I mean, Thriller is a whole nother animal.
Yeah, but I'm saying these were all on the charts at the same time.
Yeah, but
like
Thriller was on the pop charts as well.
Yeah. 83 was actually a mean year. Now I'm thinking about it. It was some joints around that.
Everybody was popping. SOS, Whispers.
Yeah, whatever you want.
Shalimar. Like,
Shalimar. Niggas like Lakeside.
Wait, was Atlantic Star?
In the bar caves.
Atlantic Star. Like
Atlantic Star. Lakeside.
Whitney was out. Whitney was out. Like, it was,
New Edition.
D-Train.
Yo, it was so much going on, man.
No, listen, soul
Midnight Star.
Soul music might have been our people's heyday when it came to music, as far as the creativity of it.
Listen,
the business of it, of course, took off later on. But as far as the creativity
and the passion and what you feel,
I think that soul music era might have been the last era because everything else went from disco, pop, and everything else went money wise.
For me, I will always say this: my favorite era of music is that disco, towards the end of disco, to that early to mid '80s music. The groups we were just talking about, like the Midnight Star, the Shalimar, like SOS Band, and just so many Fatback Band, things like that. Like Clear, it's like. Those groups, they make the music they was making it like it was just different.
They made music that lasts
different, man.
Music that literally lasts a lifetime. That's the music that our parents listened to when they was out. We listened to that growing up, and we were when we had single digits in our ages. You know what I'm saying? Now we in our 40s and 50s. You know what I'm saying? And we could go back to that and be like the Isley Brothers wasn't our lane.
Nope.
Isley Brothers was before any of us were born.
It felt like they was though.
Yeah. No. Here's the thing. When
Robert helped that out.
Yeah. Once we realized, no, that's not true. Once we realized,
I'm talking about Between the Sheets was heavy on the radio.
Yes.
I remember singing this as a kid. Like in '83, I was freaking
right.
But then they had a nice lull for a while.
But here's the thing. Once we realized who they were already legends. In our eyes. because their music was already embedded in us through our parents.
Yeah.
So they were already legends. You know what I mean? So it was like we didn't really get to experience their heyday, but we appreciate the music because even though we didn't know who they were when we first started hearing them, once we realized who they were, then we was like, oh, okay, it makes sense. You know what I mean?
Soul Train helped that out a lot too.
100%. 100%.
Soul Train and videos and stuff like that, because it's like we would just hear those songs or see the record jackets. You know what I'm saying? At our parents' crib.
Shit,
album jacket.
You know,
83 Cameo was popping.
Cameo was in there too.
It was a lot going on. Son.
Cool in the Gang.
Yeah, got some one-hit wonders too.
Yo, that early 80s was crowded. That early 80s was crowded.
Yeah, Gregory Abbott had hits out. Kashif had joints out. Shalimar and Howard Hewitt had joints out.
Man.
You know,
Howard Hewitt was one of the great.
Son, Rick James was out around that time. Barry White was out around that time.
Yeah, and that was late Barry
Secret
White.
Garden?
That's late Barry. No. Secret Garden was like late 80s. That's like 89.
Okay.
That's like 89.
Yeah, we in high school.
Albie Shore was hot. He came out in 88, and then he was on Secret Garden. That was late 80s. I'm talking like early, mid 80s. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like
Barry was probably, but that was late.
Whatever the group Jeffrey Osborne was on before he went solo. They had hits too.
LTD.
Yeah, they had hits too.
This song.
They had Love Train, right? Wasn't that his
No, that was Confunction.
No, Confunction.
Love Train is
redone by Drew Hill.
Yo. The lead singer for Confunction went solo too, right? Michael something, right?
Yeah. I don't know if he might have been solo.
He didn't have no hits or nothing like that. He might have had one joint. Mm-hmm. But I remember him going solo because I remember his voice.
Yeah. Love Train is a great song.
That's a great song.
and it's an ill story behind that song too. Like I can't get into it because I don't want to get it wrong. But I think on their unsung something, you heard about that. It was like, what? It's a wild story.
The Isley Brothers admitted that one of the songs they wrote was a copy off of Devotion. Remember, he was telling the story, and he was like, and it might have been Ernie or Ron. They were like, "Yo, I heard Devotion," and we was like, "You got to get us one of those." And if you listen to it, it sound like it. I'm trying to pull up the joint, and he was like, "Yo, it makes perfect sense when you hear it." It's one of the early songs they played in the joint. It was like, okay, now that it's not At Your Best now, Devotion. No, that's Serpentine Fire. He said, I can't remember. Oh, it might have been Choosy Lover. That's what it is. Choosy Lover they was trying to get one like Devotion. And if you listen to Choosy Lover, you can very much hear the similarities.
Okay, I'm gonna have to revisit that.
Yeah.
Wait, respect Phil for breaking out the song with Phil Collins, son.
Yo, there was mad people that never heard that song. I was like, before. I was like, how y'all hear Easy Level for? I remember that video like it was.
That was like a big record, son. Like that was a big record.
And you know how many TV shows in the 80s that was on like every episode of Miami Vice that song. Like, so on every episode they would play that when Crockett Tubbs was out the club or going in the club, Easy Level would be playing. Somebody would get into a Ferrari and then peel off on, down Collins Avenue.
So Earth, Wind & Fire, they pulled out a couple things like with Free and that. Like those are a couple of side things they pulled out. I wouldn't say I was surprised that Ron Isley did a couple of Mr. Big joints, but I don't think he needed to. Some people were looking for it though. Some people really wanted it because some people really love that.
The ones he chose was monsters though.
Yeah, he chose the right ones. But what I'm saying is, and the best ones were the R. Kelly ones that he was on. To be honest, personally.
Which ones you talking about? Oh, you mean
like the Down Low remix?
Oh yeah.
Like that, yeah. It's nothing better than that one. But,
he took on that whole Mr. Big persona for like
he took
5 years.
Yeah. God bless.
That's how he ended up with that wife, 36 years younger than him.
Right, and it worked. It worked because it introduced him to a new audience, and he was he did off of that. But I was surprised so many people was really, when I was looking in the comments, they was like, oh, classic. I was like, Really? Like, I get it, but I can understand if you're from a younger demographic, and that's what
to say.
That's how you were introduced to him as. I get it.
Yeah.
Somebody 10 years younger. Somebody 10 years younger than us. Would consider that a classic. Because when it came out, it was on fire. You know,
right.
The
video was better than the song for me.
Right. Those super dramatic videos back then.
We can say we want about Robert Sylvester. During that time, though, that motherfucker was
that shit is undeniable.
Prolific.
That shit's undeniable.
That Chocolate Factory album?
Fuck. Listen, son. We already know. You already know. Loveland, that song? Shit.
Weatherman?
Oh.
Son, that joint, the one that got the red album cover, that got Suicide on it and a couple of
other yeah.
Suicide might be my favorite R. Kelly song.
Son.
Like, I love that song.
It's,
like,
you know,
we had one of these episodes, we're gonna have a conversation about, are we able to separate
the art from the artist?
I can't with him.
Mm-hmm. With him, it's hard.
Only because now I know you's writing these songs about some freaking 15-year-old.
Yeah, I always say that it depends on the transgression.
Right.
You was out there selling drugs, I could probably forgive. You know what I'm
right.
saying? That wasn't a good thing you was doing, but I could forgive.
Mm-hmm.
You was out here imprisoning women and beating them up and hiding them from their parents, all types of crazy shit. That's something and like you said, listening to that stuff and knowing, not even thinking that or hearing about, knowing that a lot of that music was about chicks that was, not old enough to be doing that. It's like, it's one thing, like, I can't play it in public. Even to be playing it in my headphones, I feel funny about it now.
Yeah.
Like, my life is okay not being able to, or not listening to his music anymore.
Yeah.
I wish it was different.
Right.
I wish it was different. But but then it's like on some aspects, like we talk about our hip hop, heroes that we like, and a lot of them niggas is problematic in the mind. You know what I'm saying?
It's
like,
different though.
But to you it is. All right. Now we know some, rappers that we know that might have put hands on their women or sold drugs in their community or robbed and stole or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's like that ain't good either. That's some heinous shit, and you terrorizing your community, basically. You know what I'm saying? If you're one of those people, and usually it was a pack of them running around. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you terrorizing the whole community. Are we able to say, okay, well, they were doing, and then you can't always say, well, they were just doing that because they didn't have no way out. Nah, nigga, you chose that. There's other people this nigga that grew up across the hall from you in the same project building that went to college and did whatever. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, I always think that in some aspects you can do that. You know what I'm saying? But I think depending on the transgression and depending on your own moral compass, you got to say, okay, can I rock with this, with this dude or not? You know what I'm saying? In Robert's case, I got to leave him alone.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. It's unfortunate, but that's what it is.
Very unfortunate because if we being honest with ourselves, he one of the greatest of all time, and you can't,
without question,
you can't argue that intelligently.
It's
you
not.
You can't argue against it intelligently.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Like if it wasn't what it was, and he was able to do a versus, like it's really nobody who can really match him.
No.
If we're being honest, it's nobody, like, because he can pull out his own shit and the thousands of songs he's written for other people. So
the only person I think that could maybe give him a run is the guy I said that don't have any. The other guy I said that don't have any opponent in one Stephen Morris. You know what I'm saying? No. Stevie Wonder got his joints.
That's different.
And then he got
can't do
a bunch of joints, and he got 50 years to pull from.
Right.
So it's like
it's that same type of thing. It's that same type of thing. You're right. Different eras, but that same type of thing. Absolutely.
Stevie was a star since he was 13.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He got dozens of Grammys.
Son,
you know
I hope he can live as long as he can. When he passes, it's gonna be listen. You talk about the radios being flooded.
The greatest.
He's one of our, like, listen. He's probably, if I had to pick one artist, like if I had to listen to their music for the rest of my life, like he's probably the one I would pick.
He'd definitely be one, because it's like, when do you feel bad listening to Stevie Wonder? Like, niggas make you smile whenever the songs come on. It don't matter what he's talking about. He can't even see.
His chord progressions, man, is insane.
Nigga hit you with he'll start off the joint with a piano solo, sing the lyrics that he wrote during the bridge, hit you with a harmonica solo, and then end the song, and then had to have somebody take him off the stage because he can't see.
We haven't had a movie about him yet. Have we?
No.
No. Who?
No.
How?
No.
His story's still getting told.
Yeah.
You can't even do that about Stevie right now.
I mean, you can. You can. You actually can. You can. And I think they should. That's a great idea, Teeth. Like somebody should do it while he's still alive to see it.
They can have input. Why he can still have input?
Y'all see what I did there? While he's still alive to see it.
Edit.
See what I did there?
That's fucked
Edits.
I don't need to edit that. That was fun. That was a good.
No, edit nothing.
He would laugh at that. He would laugh at that.
Saturday Night Live did a whole sketch about that nigga being able to see. And this was 30 years ago when Eddie Murphy was on.
This is supposed to be a quick 10-minute segment about the Earth, Wind, and Fire versus Isley Brothers.
I got 7 more minutes from me.
Like, come on, man. Until next time, my people. This ain't a regular episode. This is just a little bonus. We wanted to give y'all because we love y'all.
Yeah,
keep supporting. You know what I mean? Until next time, y'all. We see y'all. Peace.
Peace.